Well, who do you see here? If you guessed one of the world's most beloved redheads, Ed Sheeran, you got it right. But there's someone else hidden in this picture. If you can't see it, try squinting your eyes really hard. Or maybe take a few steps back from the screen. Yes, stand back. Just a bit more. There. Now, can you see how he suddenly turned into Lady Gaga? This illusion is known as a hybrid image, and it happens because we are blending the low spatial frequencies of one picture with the high spatial frequencies of another. So, depending on your viewpoint, you see two different images. Put simply, all the fine lines in this image are from Ed Sheeran. But when those thin contours disappear, we see the blurred big picture, which is Gaga. The same effect happens here. We all read the word Southwest very clearly, right? But watch what happens when we make this text really, really small. Now all we can see is the word Northeast appearing right in front of us. Enlarge it again and you'll see that Southwest was there all along. People often see hidden faces in everyday things, like this pepper that looks like the Grinch, or this root that looks like a little dancer. And this bicycle, oh my, it looks just like an extraterrestrial being playing a saxophone. This phenomenon of seeing faces in ordinary objects is so common that it even has a name: pareidolia. That's why we can look at a beautiful landscape like this and see a really familiar face in it. Can you tell who it is? Yes, amazing! It's the one and only Beyoncé. And how about now? Does this face look familiar to you? Pay close attention to this image and you will find the answer. So, tell me, did you spot Adele? Yep, here she is. Roar! Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you, but this dinosaur has something really strange going on. Answer in the comments. Do you see this black silhouette rotating to the left or to the right? Or maybe both? Yes, that's the correct answer. This dino is a type of ambiguous image, so it can appear to be rotating both ways. This effect becomes even clearer when we see the 3D version of the image. Can you see it now? The key here is that the static black version of the image is depth ambiguous. I mean, if we pause the image, the silhouette can either look like the dino's head is closest to us, or like it's further away, looking backwards. And that's why our brain can get so confused. Oh look, it's the lovebirds Zendaya and Tom Holland, but in a creepy form. It's clear that they're sharing the same body, but can you tell who's holding whose head? Is Zendaya trying to bring Tom Holland closer to her? Or is it the other way around? Well, both answers are correct, as this is another example of an ambiguous image. Keep looking at this image and get ready to have your brain twisted in the best way possible. With these green circles in place, you can't help but see a bunch of red spheres spinning around their own little center points, almost as if they're in pairs, right? But now, poof, the green circles are gone. Stare at the center of the image, and you'll see that even though each little sphere is moving exactly the same way, your whole perception changes. It looks like the pairs have suddenly formed a whole new pattern. Instead of orbiting pairs, it now seems like you're watching two big intersecting circles of spheres, pulsing and shifting around each other in a hypnotic dance. Here are 3 cars lined up in a row. Can you tell which one looks bigger? Car number 1, number 2, or number 3? Got your answer? If you picked number 3, you're not alone. It does look bigger than the others, but actually, that's not correct. The answer isn't number 2 or number 3 either, because all 3 cars are exactly the same size. How can that be? This is an illusion created by the angle of the image, which totally throws off our sense of perspective. When something is closer to us, it appears bigger. So when we see an image like this, our brains assume the cars farther back must be smaller. And if there's something in the photo that makes it look like things are getting farther away, like the road in this case, it adds to the effect, making our brains think, wait, if that car isn't shrinking, it must be huge. But no, it's just an optical illusion. Ever seen a cube that's just not quite right? Say hello to the impossible cube. At first glance, it looks like a regular 3D cube, but the more you stare, the more things don't add up. The corners and edges twist in ways that are totally illogical. Some lines seem to go in front, while others slip behind, creating a shape that could never actually exist in real life. The same thing happens in this image. On the left side, the two plates seem to align horizontally, but when you shift your gaze to the right, the plates suddenly look like they're aligned vertically, as if the pink one is higher than the blue one. It's all about tricking your brain into thinking it's looking at a solid, possible object, when in reality, these impossible images break all the rules of geometry. Emma Stone is just amazing, and her gaze is incredibly captivating. But we can make her stare even more hypnotizing. Want to see it? Wow! Doesn't it look like her eyes are jumping right at you? That's all because of the background image. The patterns and colors make it look like everything is moving, even though it's not. If you doubt it, just pause the video for a sec, and you will see that her eyes are still coming closer and closer to you. Speaking of eyeballs, how many different eye colors do you see here? I'll give you a little time to count them all, but I have to warn you, this is a tricky one, and there are probably fewer colors than you might think. Okay, time's up. What's your answer? If you guessed 20, that's because you counted each eye as a separate color. Or maybe you noticed that the red eye in the top right corner is pretty close to the red eye in the bottom right corner, so they could actually be the same color. Well, let me tell you that even if you manage to spot a pair or two of matching colors, your final answer is probably still way over the correct total. Ready for the correct answer? There are only 5 colors here, one for each column. What you are experiencing here is a version of the Munker white illusion. You probably think there are about 20 different colors in this image because overlaying black and white lines on a shape changes our perception of colors. Look at the center of this image. Perfect. Keep your eyes focused there and try not to blink. Let's make this interesting with a little bet, okay? If I can make your hand look like it's moving, I win and get to ask for a prize. If not, you win, but you really have to give it your best shot. Keep focusing on the center. Now I'm going to count to 3, and when I'm done, you will look at one of your hands, all right? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go on! Now, tell me, does your hand feel like it's moving in a weird way? Like little waves are flowing through it? Well, looks like I won the bet, and the prize I'm picking is for you to share this video with your friends so they can experience this wild illusion too. Deal?
That's it for today. So hey, if you pacified your curiosity, then give the video a like and share it with your friends. Or if you want more, just click on these videos and stay on the bright side.